So instead of Cat Neville, we're going to talk about a horse named Moose. Jerry Kirk is with us from Brookdale Farms. Jerry, interesting week for you, huh?
Yeah, it's been crazy.
You never thought you'd be in the middle of a giant controversy. Jerry, how did it all start?
Well, it all started Saturday night when the lady from the health department thought that Moose was having an issue.
Was Moose having an issue?
No, Moose wasn't having an issue, and that's why we had him vet checked on Monday in front of her vet and showed them that Moose didn't have any of the issues she was claiming that he had. But apparently that's still not good enough for her.
Okay, there was a rumor that Moose has COPD. Is that true or false?
That's completely false, and we sent the vet report to everybody and showed the only way to diagnose COPD is through an ultrasound, and her vet just kind of looked at him on Sunday morning and said he had COPD. We did the ultrasound with our vet and her vet standing there on Monday and showed that he doesn't have COPD.
Would it surprise you if I said that there is a Twitter pic out there of Moose smoking a cigarette on a coffee break?
No, that wouldn't. At this point, nothing would amaze me.
Oh my goodness!
All right, so where does all this stand now?
Well, you know what? The whole issue now is just really, really confusing. She's sent a list of rules that she wants to impose on ourselves and the other carriage company. Our attorney doesn't think that she has the right to do any of that kind of stuff. That she really doesn't have the ability to do that. The other carriage company already says they're not following any of her rules. She's asked for Moose to have another test done because the other test wasn't done on Saturday night when she saw him, but now she wants this test done even later. So I think she's just backpedaling and trying to cover herself because we've had overwhelming support from the public saying that they don't want to ban carriage rides. Everybody loves carriage rides. And, her personal agenda as, an animal rights activist, she's part of a small, very vocal group that, try to cause problems for people that do what we do.
Yeah. Jerry, she's a health director, Pamela Walker. My question is your horse and buggy regulated, and which department regulates you?
You know what? That's my question also. When I first started, I've been in business in the city since 1989. I'm sure you guys remember Steve Apted, and he started out the carriages in St. Louis with the Cheshire Carriage Company when he started Cheshire Inn and all that stuff.
Right.
I bought the company from Steve in '89, and we've grown from there. But at first we were regulated by the Bureau of Convenience and Necessity that did the taxicabs then. Then up until about November of last year, we were regulated by the Metropolitan Taxicab Commission. But then a lawsuit was filed, and they decided that anything non-motorized was not regulated by the Taxicab Commission. So I think this woman has decided that this is her chance to step in and become a hero for all her animal rights people, the extreme animal rights groups, and champion the cause of banning carriages.
Right, because I would think a health director, that's more human health, right, than anything.
Well, my understanding is she's actually in charge of animal cruelty, and she told me Saturday night that she considers it animal cruelty to have a horse hooked to a carriage.
Let me ask you this, though. Do you see her point at all when it comes to the temperature being with the heat index at 100 or more and having the horses out there?
Well, that's an interesting thing to what she talked about. We had a heat plan filed with the Metropolitan Taxicab Commission that we always adhered to, and our agreement with them was when the heat index was above 107, we wouldn't take the horses out. We wouldn't take the horses out before 7 o'clock, or if the heat index dropped below that point. So we've always been conscious of not working the horses when the heat index was too high or anything like that. She wants to lower that to her standard, I guess, or whatever, to try to, anything she can do at this point, I think, to interfere with our business, which is what she did Saturday. She physically interfered with our business, wouldn't let people take rides, wouldn't let the horse that was behind Moose take rides for 2.5 hours.
Tell us about Moose. How old is he, and what's his health condition?
Moose is a 9-year-old Percher and Craft horse. I've had him since he was probably 3.5 years old. He came from an Amish farm where he worked on where he was a working horse there. If you look at you can see from the vet report. The vet report says that his physical condition is perfect. That he scores perfectly on the physical condition test. That when we exercised him, he showed no signs of COPD. When he through the ultrasound test, he showed no signs of CD or COPD. He's in perfect shape. He videotaped him after he had finished a ride, and he was breathing a little hard, just like anybody else, or any human being does, or any other animal who exerts itself does.
Right. What has this done for your business, Jerry Kirk?
Well, so far, I mean, I don't think she's. I think what she's done is she's kind of rallied support for us. I mean, I don't know that it's how it's impacted me so far. I know that I'm still taking reservations and booking rides and booking weddings and things like that. I'm hoping that my point all along has been if you like carriage rides, take a carriage ride. If you don't take one.
But I mean, has since this has come to light, have more people tried to find you? Have you gotten more attention? Have you gotten more rides because of this?
I think it probably has. We've had more people try to find us. I'll tell you, my phone just rang 5 minutes ago from someone calling and saying, "Look, we want you to know that we support you. This woman obviously has an agenda. She's trying to bully you, and we support what you do." And I've had people call me and say, "Hey, we haven't thought about taking a carriage ride for a while, but now we're going to go downtown and take a carriage ride."
Right.
Let me ask you this, though. In the past, though, you've not had any run-ins with her, have you? I mean, why would she have an agenda? And then my other question is, what do you think about the new set of rules having, the horses have a little time off, vacation? Or do you agree with those, or will you abide by that?
Well, here's the thing. All the rules that she wants to impose on me are less than I impose on myself. The vacation and everything. Our horses generally have, obviously because of weather and all stuff like that. We don't work January, February, and March very much anyway. So that she really doesn't have. And she says they can work 5 days a week. My horses generally work 3 days a week. So really, the rules that she has really don't change any way that we do business. So I don't really know what to say about any of it.
What about the heat index? Because it sounds like that's the one thing where she wants a harsher penalty or a more strict standard.
Yeah, she's lowered it. What she says by a little bit. I guess the big issue is if the people who the guy who owns the other carriage company has already said that he's not going to follow any of the rules that she set forward. If we don't do it, what's going to happen? She doesn't. There's no ordinance or anything for the health department to do anything with this.
Right. So are you going to follow her rules, or are you going to follow your own rules?
I think we're going to follow our standards because our standards are a little more strict than hers.
Have you heard from Mayor Slay or Mayor Rainford on any of this?
We hope to hear from Mayor Slay on this, but we haven't heard anything out of him or from his office, and as far as I know, nobody else has either. I don't know what his feelings are on it. I know this. I know that the city hired me and my carriages and my carriage to take the NCAA representative around the city of St. Louis for 2 hours when the city was trying to get the NCAA Final Four men's basketball tournament here. So I would think that the city is in support of us. I know that we've pulled a float in the VP Fair Parade that was built specifically for us for the last 24 years with a 4-horse hitch. So I don't know where all this stuff's coming from. I've never had any interaction with this lady from the health department before since 1989.
Jerry Kirk with Brookdale Farms. He's the owner of Moose, the horse that's getting all this attention. The horse is in perfect health, according to your vet and the was it an MRI or CAT scan for the COPD?
An ultrasound.
Ultrasound. Okay. Jerry, let me ask you this question: if I wanted to go down and meet Moose and get a ride from Moose, where would I go?
Well, we generally have carriages on the riverfront, but that's a little back and forth depending on construction. We have them around Keener Plaza. We have them on the landing. Anywhere, usually on Washington Avenue. So they're scattered all around the city.
Don't you have them over by the city museum too?
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, they usually sit by City Museum up on Washington. All those places. They're all around.
Yeah. Let me ask you this crazy question: if I were to call you and want to schedule a ride, what's the phone number I would call you?
636-938-1005.
Say that again. I didn't hear that.
636-938-1005.
If I were to wanted to look you up online, just out of curiosity, if I wanted to get a hold of you and hire the moose and a carriage ride for a wedding or anniversary or something on those lines, what's the website I would go to?
The website is Brookdale Farms Inc.
BrookdaleFarmsInc.com. And lastly, Jerry, while we have you, do you feed moose beefarino, or what do you feed moose?
You know, that beefarino doesn't work too well, as you probably know from Seinfeld and Kramer. It causes problems. Thankfully, Moose was not having that issue on Saturday night. Otherwise, I don't know where this would be going.
Jerry Kirk, the owner of Moose from Brookdale Farms. Jerry, thanks for checking in. Good luck.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
You got it. 850, Big 550.